What's good? What's good? My solar charger stopped working. I'm a little stressed about it. Not gonna let it affect me though. I'll get it figured out. I can still charge while the car is running, but it's just not nearly as good. Anyways, I don't know. I say that a lot. I say I don't know a lot in regards to, the nature of reality, but also in regards to my life. So I just left my retail job because it was soul sucking. Retail and service, I've worked in restaurants, I've worked in retail. Just the worst. And it doesn't have to be this way, but this is the economy that we live in. This is the society that we live in. A society where someone with long hair and a beautiful beard, actually, to be fair, I do not take care of my beard as nearly as well as I should. So these people do have a point somewhat, but what's the title of this video? Cut your damn hair, you frickin' hippie. So my biological father, who I've never met in person, but we briefly interacted, corresponded via text message. He said, I need to shave my beard and cut my hair if I want to get a real job and fit into real society. But I don't want to fit in with this society. Most people will look around and say things are messed up. It's not a left or a right thing. It's an overall thing. This society, this paradigm is broken. It is unconscious. It is unhealthy. I don't want to be a part of it. I don't want to just fit in. And so why am I a little worked up about that? That was a long time ago that my biological father said that. That was like a year or two ago. We haven't really talked in a year or two because if that's all you're going to tell me is like cut your hair and shave your beard and just fit in and conform, then we don't have a lot in common. Because conformity, particularly our previous generations that have just conformed and fit inside the box and complied, they're what got us into this mess. People who refused to question authority, people who refused to think and step outside of the box, people who would rather just go along to get along, have perpetuated this toxic paradigm. So I get a little triggered when people tell me that. Conformity might get me a freaking stupid corporate job, a meaningless corporate cog in the machine job, but it is not going to be fulfilling. It is not going to be rewarding. I am not going to be proud. So I used to work at Boeing. Look at what's going on now with Boeing. I saw it years ago. I would not be proud to say I worked at Boeing right now. Or if I did, I would be proud to say I'm speaking up against what's going on. That's partially why I left Boeing, because I saw what was going on and I tried to speak up. And it was very disillusioning, very disheartening to experience that. And when I worked at Boeing, I worked in the supplier management division. There were like 3,000 employees in that division. Our VP of supplier management once had like an all-team meeting, so it was a virtual broadcast, but he talked about sort of the future of the organization, the business operations organization, but then also the larger organization of the company. And, he talked about retaining talent was one of the problems that the company had. And so I sent him an email after that broadcast as like a Hail Mary. And I said, hey, I'm actually one of those like young, talented people that am struggling with the direction of the company. And I'd love to offer some insight into, what I see. And in the email I said, I imagine this probably is going to go to a secretary or something, but in the event that you see this. And he actually responded. I was blown away. I'm not going to say his name, but I was blown away that he responded. He's actually, no, I read this and I'd love to meet with you. And this VP of 3,000 people took the time out of his day to meet with me. And he agreed with a lot of what I had to say. But he essentially said that he was constrained by the corporate powers, the corporate entities, the way things have always been done, but then also the way they intend to do things. And so when I started my master's, I have a master's degree in business administration. My emphasis, my field of study was actually in change leadership, because at the time I saw a potential direction corporations could go. And I said, I want to help pioneer the revolution of the corporate life, of the corporate world, because I at the time I still thought, corporations were not entirely evil. I knew that the government was corrupt, and I knew that some corporations and there was some evil, but I thought it could be reformed. I was wrong. There is no reformation for the corporatocracy. The corporatocracy that we live in, also known as this fascist state or this authoritarian government. Words are really difficult because often there are boundaries to the definitions of certain words. However, there is overlap between how these different words kind of fit and describe what we are dealing with. Oh my gosh, I'm really happy with how this video is flowing. I want to try to wrap it up because I never got to the point that I was just told again by someone that I consider a mentor, someone who has actually been like a guardian angel to me in a lot of ways. They've helped me tremendously, mentally, like in the form of being there, and then financially. They helped me buy my Honda that I used to have, the Honda that I traded in so I could get this van. He's an awesome person. But we were talking about like my future and how I don't know. I just don't know anything about my future. And he had said, I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but he had said that, I need to cut my hair and shave my beard, and I need to conform, and I need to just plug into the system that I think is broken. And it's really kind of frustrating. It's triggering. It is triggering. I'm trying to work through it, and I'm being vulnerable by sharing that with you. Because he agrees with me on so much about how our current paradigm is broken and toxic and doesn't work. But because this guy, he's an entrepreneur, he's a very successful entrepreneur, multimillionaire, right? He benefits from the system as it stands. And he was talking to me about how he's struggling to find people who want to work. And it's funny, I used to work for him, and I didn't say this, I wanted to say not to be disrespectful because he had kind of said that to me. And I maybe should have, but I told him that people don't want to work anymore because there's no point. There's no point when working really hard doesn't get you anywhere. When the government pays more, or when working under the table pays more, or when gig apps offer more flexibility and freedom and pay just as much, people don't want to work, and I get it. And he agrees that the system is broken, but he hasn't fully sort of understood that the system needs dismantled. And he's going to continue to have problems with employment. I told him this is actually all part of the bigger plan. They want to get rid of small and medium-sized businesses. It's not specifically the Bolsheviks, but I like to, when talking with him, try to infuse some historical references. We have really wonderful, deep conversations. And I said, it's all part of the Bolsheviks' plan, the Bolshevik revolution, the Marxist-Leninist movement that overtook Russia. It's interesting. I actually interacted with someone on Instagram the other day who said that they are a Marxist-Leninist. And I'm like, how would you want to admit that? Do you know how murderous that is? And then they always try to, step around the murder around Lenin and Stalin and Mao and Pol Pot. They always ignore that, or they say that wasn't real communism. We're never going to see real communism. I'm getting way off subject. Moral of the story. Conformity is complicity. Conformity is complicity. If you just go along to get along, you keep your head down like a lot of people did over the last few years. Oh, don't even get me started. I'm getting started. Calm down. Okay. Over the last few years, we saw the true intentions of the machine, the true malevolence of the machine. We can no longer go about our lives being complicit and conforming. We must stand up and we must resist. And I'm not even a leftist, but I'm using their language because it's somewhat accurate. Hashtag resist. We totally should. But we shouldn't be embracing communism, you fucking idiots. And I'm a hippie. Long-haired, cut your hair and shave, man. No, fuck you. Fuck the establishment. Fuck the commies. Freedom, sovereignty. That's where beauty and purpose and meaning in the future lie. In freedom, in sovereignty. Because without freedom, without self-ownership, you have nothing. Remember, they want you to own nothing and be happy. Much love, y'all.